standing on the Wenceslas Square in Prague, the place where the changes began almost 1 year ago. And actually this was the pioneer moment in our new history. In fact, it's corresponding with our activity because this coming in with a new business, coming with new economy and relations is a kind of pioneer event in our lives and in our cooperation as well. Somehow this is symbolic and romantic, and I hope that we can bring equality, we can bring new technology, and we can accustom local people with other habits, other technologies, and other relations.
We all welcomed November 1989, what we called Velvet Revolution, when we got rid of communism and its dictations. However, what is very difficult for us is that we have to change the whole structure of our economy, which was based on almost exclusive government ownership of everything. It was all directed by the communist government, and the image was that everything would be done for us by some final central brain or something, a brain which would plan the whole life of the people right from when they were born to the time when they die. In all this, there was no place for your own imagination, no place for your own ideas, for your personality. As a university, we would like to cooperate with you in the field of research and new technology in the areas of manufacturing, as well as local community planning and administration. With the help of our American friends, we would like to get our economy back on its feet and restore our devastated country. With our students, we have already started on a new design for a small resort city near Prague. We would like to get this city back to the times when it was one of the leading spots in our country. With your help, we can do it.
We will be working with the faculty and students from the Technical University in Prague, Czechoslovakia, on the development of a master plan for this resort community in Czechoslovakia. One of the exciting things about this project is that it probably will be used as a prototype or as a case study for the development of similar projects throughout Czechoslovakia. This program and this project gives a special benefit to our students, and I believe to the students and faculty in Czechoslovakia, because it provides an opportunity for direct exchange of people and ideas in the development of a real-life project and situation. And this is really what we believe is important in terms of the internationalization of our educational program at Michigan State University.
Certainly long-term land use planning and implementation of a capitalistic form of local government are the cornerstone of developing and creating an environment that can attract foreign investors into Eastern Bloc countries. The concept of a public-private sponsored project, such as the one we are involved in, provides the opportunity to complete the entire master planning process in a community. We believe it allows the city and its residents to obtain maximum control over the future appearance of the entire community without making it cost prohibitive for investment. Yet it goes even further than that by including the universities. We will be able to teach this master planning process to the people of the country so that they in turn may implement this process in other communities across the nation.
Environmental and engineering issues are a big concern when looking at either manufacturing or real estate development in a country. We certainly expect the international concern to be greater in an Eastern Bloc country since environmental issues have not been a priority in the past. It will also be important to consider alternative energy solutions developed in the West in the past decade. A few examples include solid waste, fuel cells, solar, and groundwater heat pumps. Consideration of alternatives to conventional wastewater treatment, such as wetlands, discharge, and greywater systems, will also need to be considered. Joint cooperation between public and private entities is vitally important for long-term community success. It will only help a local community, but sets in place a system that can be followed and implemented over a long period of time. This type of system will assist in the physical development of a country, plus assist in local, regional, and national planning processes. These are a few examples that I'm certain our entire group is interested in developing with municipalities throughout the Eastern Bloc to their long-term benefit.
The focus of this project is on community development and land planning. We see this as an opportunity to transfer technology and information between our two countries in these two areas. One of the exciting aspects and opportunities that this project sets up is the opportunity to develop a partnership between Michigan State University and several of the universities in Czechoslovakia. We also see this as an opportunity to establish partnerships between the universities and business community in dealing with issues of privatization of land and land development in these emerging capitalistic countries. A third opportunity is to establish an exchange program between faculty, students, business leaders, professional consultants in the fields of urban planning, design, and architecture that can explore and exchange ideas in urban planning, landscape architecture, and architecture. Michigan State University in general and the landscape architecture program in Michigan at Michigan State University has had a consistent commitment to international programs and internationalization of the curriculum. For example, we have had since 1975 a series of overseas study programs to Europe and Asia, and we see this as a natural extension of this and an opportunity even to expand the program so that we can commit both to our students and to the objectives of the project and to the objectives of the mission of the university. In the preparation of master plans for communities or specific site developments, one of the key concerns is the impact of this development on the land and on the community. In order to understand that impact, we have to take a look at a number of things, including the current environmental conditions, the water table, the soil conditions, vegetation, wildlife, things like that. We also have to take a look at what is referred to as the infrastructure within the area that these projects are being developed. By this I mean the availability of sewer, water, utilities, police service, health services, and government structure. This is an important part of the whole process in order that we may better fit the plan to the needs of the community and to the conditions of the environment that we're developing this. We want this plan to really reflect and grow out of the environment rather than simply being placed on it.
I see our role in the European development as coming as private consultants, and in that role we'll be bringing our experience as land use planners and landscape architects into the European community, representing two important aspects. First, our role as landscape architects and land planners in the private sector. We have had a broad-based experience dealing with both public and private projects, and we'll be bringing that experience to Europe with the emerging privatization of the European community. We'll be able to assist them in both looking at aspects of financing and thinking through planning projects on a private basis, but also looking at blending both private and public involvement in those projects. Our broad-based experience in relating to both public and private sector projects will be important in this regard. The other is, with the growth that we've had in suburban development in the United States, we anticipate being able to bring a different perspective as far as developing, probably most importantly, extensive mixed-use developments. Here we've had a broad-based experience in blending office, commercial, housing, even public sector development into one single project. And in that regard, we've been able to develop a strong economic base. We've been able to develop strong regional draws to projects, and we've been able to incorporate a wide range of economic expansion in many sectors. To look at that a little more closely, we'd like to say that we can assist them in bringing that regional kind of development into focus, where our projects or projects we're involved in will be able to focus on getting people out of the community to centers where they can have recreational activities, where they can stay for weekends, where they can go exercise, where they can go find specialty shops, and also find local services. In the same regard, we look at that regional draw as bringing people from a broad area in the European market and possibly draw on the international market as well. Specifically, projects such as those we're looking at in Czechoslovakia, where we are looking at investment from out of Europe sources, where we're looking at the kinds of activities that play off local opportunities, looking at local resources, water, other natural features, such as in some cases natural springs that are both used for therapy as well as just recreational purposes, and using those as springboards to blend other kinds of development into clean, cohesive projects.
While the process of planning is going to be the same in whether it occurs in the United States or Asia or in Europe, there are some very special considerations that have to be taken into account. In the case of this project, we were concerned about some of the cultural attitudes toward land use and land development. This exists in terms of the people's attitudes, the relationship to water. It's their attitude in relationship to housing densities, housing types, architectural styles. We have to take that into account. And this is one of the exciting aspects that we will be getting into in this project.
I suppose that we are in a special situation when a lot of new things are being born, and I think that concerns houses, building, architecture as well. I always compare architecture to people, because you can talk about people as being kind, jolly, and so on. And you can characterize houses as well that way, and I believe that we should manage, and we are able to manage, to build such kind of facility that would not be only economic, that's sure, wouldn't be only functional, it must be functional, but would be very personal and characteristic. And I think if we manage to do that thing, that would be a very good advertisement for America's step into Czechoslovakia.
From an architectural standpoint, the development of new facilities anywhere within the vicinity of Prague presents an exciting new challenge for our company. Architecture in this region, developed prior to the communist regime, carries a cultural, social, and historical value that cannot be replaced and sets the region apart from the rest of Europe with its beauty. We do not want to destroy or detract from this beauty. From our standpoint, it is extremely important that we blend our new technology and modern image in the proper dose with the preserved architectural heritage that is evident throughout the area.
My name is Sarkala. I'm consulting by CZEDOC Interhotels, also in the Ministry of Trade, and I am private in private consulting. So the current occupancy of rooms in Prague in all hotels is about 100% at the moment. But we expect in 2 years for 80%, and up to now we have to say there is not enough lodgement in Prague, and especially in such a category hotel you need them to operate, so there are only 5 hotels in Prague. At the moment in Prague they are missing about 2,000 beds. They are missing every day and every month, especially in the season. And the hotels are divided here only to 5 classes. Have to say 5 different classes, and the most bed you can find in the third category, but not in the first category. There are only 5 hotels in Prague.
The project will have a tremendous benefit to the landscape architecture program if we are willing to pursue it pursue the opportunities that are laid out before us. These benefits exist for example, in the area of better understanding, developing a better understanding of other cultures, such as exist in Czechoslovakia. In this case, it also allows us to provide opportunities for student exchange in dealing with environmental issues under different systems of government. It allows us to have opportunities for research and faculty exchanges so that we have a better international understanding. We see the landscape architecture program as having both benefiting from the education and research standpoint, but also having an opportunity to contribute to business and to community on both a local scale and a national scale, and as a part of the mission of the university.